Some people, sound like me. Some are coughing. Some are dealing with catarrh, stuffy nose, all of that. And some people are even hospitalized, because of the weather. And some of them, they already have some other health challenges that's also, that the weather is, just aggravating as well. But hey, in all things, right? You'll be fine. You will be fine. And no matter the heat, the heat can be from any angle. You will be fine. Welcome aboard once again. And if you're up for it, welcome. This second welcome was for those who are interested in the one play draws. So, hey, get on board, get on oneplay.ng, and of course, buy your tickets for just 500 naira, and you will qualify for the 25,000 naira that I'll be giving out on the show today, two times anyway. So it's 50k, so 25k for two persons. All right. So let's do that already. The USSD code, I believe, is also working, so you can also go through that, which is *347 *880 *6#. So, and of course, when you get on the OnePlay website, be sure to select Nigeria Info 92.3 PH before you buy your tickets, right? Okay. It's done across our stations so that you don't go buy a ticket from another station and you're calling us to say, I bought tickets. How far? Okay, so that's just that. All right, so on the show today, you know how we roll on Wednesdays. Something is missing here. Yeah, the studio tab. I can't find it. Anyway, so let's see what's happening today on the show. So you and I are going to have a conversation about a practice that is not new. It's an age-long practice. Simply the practice of finding a wife for sick or aging men. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that, right? Yeah, it happens. And I have a story in that regard to share with you, and then we will talk. So we're discussing finding a wife for a sick or aging man. We're having a conversation right now. And then 1 p.m., we'll just go off a little bit for the trending stories. And afterwards, at 1:30, we should be having the FinTech Show. It's a repeat broadcast the from our Lagos studio. So it's a show you don't want to miss as well. For just 30 minutes, you're going to have a great time listening to them. Kofi and Mr. Obong Daniels. Sometimes Kofi is also not there. But hey, just listen up and you will enjoy yourself. Then afterwards, 2 p.m., we'll be back here with the news update. And after that, we're going to have talking figures. That's to wrap it up. All right. Which, of course, is a business show you also don't want to miss. Choma Ezenwafo will be in the studio to help you with that one. And it's going to be a blast as usual. All right. So 3 o'clock, we have the news. Rivers Today coming up. And then Hard Facts will take over afterwards. Okay, so that's it. My name is Constance Irele Mega. Welcome aboard once again. We're live on Facebook, so get on Facebook and be a part of the conversation. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So the practice of finding wives for sick or aging men. All right, so this conversation today is, I already told you, is about this cultural practice that often blurs the line between marriage and duty. So a pharmacist shared a story online. So she spoke of a woman whose family actually is looking for a wife for their 57-year-old brother. That's already a red flag, because if you're 57, like, why are you not married? Why are they looking for a wife for you, right? But that's not the problem, because for some people, they'll be like, maybe he's been busy with, trying to achieve or save the entire universe. Yeah, but that's not it. The man is sick. That's the story there. He's sick and he can't care for himself. So you heard that right. And it really just made me wonder, is it a wife that this man needs, or a caregiver? Like someone who's like trained to do that job of caregiving, like a nurse or something. And then the other question is, why do my voice is good, I'm fine. And why do some families know that their son has major issues? Some of them, it's health issues that are very glaring. Some others, it's mental issues. An outsider might not be able to tell that this person Like some people say, has score in the head. And some others, they know this person has emotional issues. And like I said, an outsider might not be able to decipher that. But in-house, they know. They don't say, he's not really there. Even financial issues. Someone is a gambler. Someone is a thief. Yeah, money can't just stay with somebody. You know, whatever the thing is, they just know this person has issues. Some of them is even spiritual issues. And they know. Now, instead of seeking help, they're scouting for a woman to carry the burden in the name of marriage. Why? Why do some families do that? I mean, while I was preparing for this show, I was like, could that be maybe a biblical example we could maybe hold on to and say, oh, I mean, they did it in that time. And I remember, oh yeah, David, he had something close to that, and I had to go read up. So, just be sure you can read it up for yourself. 1 Kings chapter 1, verse 3 to 4. So when King David was old and frail, his people, they went out to find him somebody, a virgin, to take care of him, not as a wife, but as a caregiver. That young woman, Abishag, she was there to care for him, not to marry him. Because the Bible made it clear he didn't sleep with her. Because that was not what she was there for. She was there as a caregiver. And then he brings to mind a particular quote that marriage is a partnership, not a rehabilitation center. There's even one African proverb that says something like, you don't tie a goat where it will be eaten by a lion. But that's what some people do. Intentionally send someone into a life of struggle just to tick the box called marriage. And so I've got questions. I mean, I've been asking questions since, right? But I've got more. So I would like us to have this conversation. And the first one is, if a man cannot care for himself, right? Whether it be spiritually, financially, mentally, emotionally, and all the things that basically a human being should be able to care for themselves in that regard, right? Should marriage even be an option? That's what I'm asking. If a man cannot care for himself, should marriage be an option? I'm sure you have your arguments, so please bring them on. All right, I would like to hear those. And then why do some ladies say yes in this kind of situations? A situation where this man is a very old man, or this man is sick. We can all see it. He's not okay. He's not fine. And some ladies say yes. Do you think it's pressure, or do you think it's fear? Like, maybe this is an opportunity. If I miss this one, I might miss. Or fear of what might happen to them at home if they said no. Or is it that they have hope? Maybe if I come into his life, it will be better, it will be good, even though I don't love him. And last of all, would you allow your daughter or your sister to enter a marriage like this? All right, I've been talking. Let's hear from you. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0007. I'm seeing your message. Someone says, hey, yeah, my Connie's voice is not Connie at all. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Cough and kata. Leave Connie for me. Oh. Thank you. King Ife saw me outside the studio. And he was like, okay, you look better than you looked on Monday, because Monday you were not it. Yeah, I'm much better. Monday was not just the cough and kata. Yeah. But like the Bible says, let the weak say I am strong. Yeah, that was what I pulled off on Monday. But I'm much better today. Yeah, much better. Okay, so we're talking already. I'd like to hear from you. Is this person anonymous, or am I waiting for a name? Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this is Promise from Moji.
All right, Promise, go on.
Yes, you know, from the beginning, women don't actually contribute much in the home where they are being married to.
What do you mean by from the beginning and contributing much? I would need you to explain further.
Okay, ma, because so many, 95% of the women believe that it's the right of the man to do from beginning to the end of all the problem in the home. But I think getting married to a woman is for her to assist, not just by bearing food, but assisting in coordinating and supporting the family. But this time around, the case is just a different thing.
Is it my earpiece or is he still talking? Okay, I want to believe it's it's the network, so I just had to drop the call because I don't know what's going on. I can't hear him anymore, and I'm here fumbling with my earpiece, wondering whether it's from my end. I even had to pull it out, but it's all good. I'm still taking your calls, though. I want to hear from you. You heard the story I shared, and I already let you know that this is not new. It's something that you're pretty much familiar with. And then do you also have maybe some kind of experience in that regard? Maybe not for you. Perhaps you know somebody who had to get married to someone that fits the descriptions I just gave. I saw a video some time ago of a lady. She was pretty young, right? Getting married to a really advanced man. And she wasn't smiling. That picture actually trended on social media. Yeah, it was all over the place. She wasn't smiling. And people were like, why are you marrying this person when you're not even happy? Like, on your wedding day, you can't even force yourself to smile. You could just see that she wasn't having it, but she was there. Right? So why do some families get their son who is sick to marry when they know this person is sick? This person should be getting help. Professional help. A wife is not a professional helper. Yeah, someone who needs the kind of help that comes from a professional caregiver, like those of them who are trained to do that. Nigerians leave Nigeria to go abroad to go and start caring for old people. Some of them go there and start misbehaving. Anyway, but yeah. So a man who is sick and the entire family everybody knows that this person is not okay. Is it a wife that should be sought for or a caregiver? Like the kind of help the person needs. It's not the first time this will be happening. This is just a very recent case and yeah, it's out there. And so we're having this conversation. I even know a story of a particular young man. For the family, financially he had issues. He couldn't even stay at home. He's always out. Like he could just leave. For maybe 1 or 2 years, nobody would see him. And then sometime he would just show up. And they went and sought for a wife for him. They sought a wife for him. He got married, got her pregnant, and boom, he was off again. Boom, right? He was off again. And nobody was even nice to the young lady. It was more like, so. They were more interested in getting the child. They want him to have an offspring. But how about the person who you are subjecting into that life of hardship and confusion? Turn off your radio set, please. Michael from Aba, welcome. If you're using an earpiece, could you please unplug it and just talk to me directly through your phone?
Okay. Yeah, afternoon.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, the issue you have just bring up is something that we all know that existed over the years. You see, sometimes when such challenge happens in the family, everybody will try to contribute his own quota. But at the point, the end will be let him or her, get married and they have a replacement, have a child that can replace him.
You said him or her. It's rarely a her. It's mostly a he.
Some of those situations where a lady is from a well-to-do family, they just want her to get married and they will sponsor, feed her everything, or let's just concentrate on the man. So most times, some women that are less privileged in terms of finance, family where they are coming from, they do it from their heart, knowing that their family they are going to marry to. I know of a young lady, it's very beautiful. because of the family of the husband, they have people in overseas, and they are way to do. And even the lady even have some up to 5 issues now for the man. But if you see the man, the man is sick anyway. He can't talk what you will hear. While moving on the street, everybody will be laughing and that other. The young lady is very pretty. So sometimes you can't just blame the woman or whatever. Mostly is their choice. They are not being forced into such, family. I think it's the situation of the country, because sometimes someone that cannot feed very well, you don't know when your next meal is coming. It's just say yes, I do. Like the picture you just presented, somebody who was not laughing, smiling, make not finish, Kukuma go home. I can eat whatever I want to eat. I'll be financed, wherever I have a need. That is the thing. So it's a very sorry situation anyway, because mostly there is no love in such marriage,
Yeah.
And sometimes you see some people will just lay hands on a man. They still have their real love somewhere. So it's just to survive anyway.
Interesting.
And we can't help such situation. It has been existing over the years, and it will continue.
Okay.
Because this life is no balance now. Anyway, you can see help. You just even our brothers that are in overseas, you see them marrying their grandmothers just to survive, just to have a green card there. So what I say?
Okay.
It has been happening. It will keep on happening.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. I have another caller. The call is not screened, so I'm just waiting. All right, so some messages here on WhatsApp. Who's this? Greetings, Constance. Your name is what? Choppy Poppy from Mercyland. Interesting. See, Constance, the purpose of this practice is basically for the generation to be passed on to a favorable species. I know someone like that, ill mentally, but we should know such practices isn't good. Interesting. Okay, so part of also what I'm asking is, because sometimes when these conversations are had, right, it is most times, right, it is those who are expected to be sane and not sick that sit down and have these conversations and agree that what they should do is to find wife for their brother that is not okay, so that he will have children. And nobody's they're not thinking, okay, what becomes of this woman who's going to be wife to such a man who is sick, either mentally or physically? It's more like, let's get him a slave, because that's what it's looking like to me. Modern day slavery. Mr. Zion from GRA, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
I think
sir.
you stole the words from my tongue. Modern day slavery. That is it. And it's only poverty and illiteracy that can subject. Because the major target is even the women that are always subjected to this realm. I hardly see the side of a man. I hardly see it. It's always the women. Poverty. If we can fix poverty in this our environment, many things we call abnormal will be normal. Many things that look so strange, will not be strange. Even though we as Africans, we practice it. But we should look at the inference of this issue, especially the woman going into it. Well, some families have the consensus with the other family, have an agreement. Care will be taken, this will be done, that will be done. For Constance,
yes, please.
It narrows down to poverty. If that lady is educated enough and the social indices are accurate in her life, she will not take that choice or make such a decision. I found out that in large extent in this part of the world, we always take advantage over people. And that is why I still subject this conversation to. Before you now ask such people who are in such a condition, if it is you, do you allow your younger sister, your elder sister to marry such a person? Mr. Zion.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Zion. And that was actually basically my last question. Would you allow your daughter or your sister to enter a marriage like this? Or perhaps even your friend. I mean, imagine you have a friend and, okay, sometimes when we say friend, it's almost like there's nothing you can do about it. So let's see. It's your sister, right? And so your family somewhere, they've gathered, they've had a conversation, they've decided that they want to come and pluck flower from your family. Yeah, you have a younger sister who is, oh, Jesus, my nose, it is well. Okay. So you have a younger sister who is beautiful and she's young. So, right. Your brother, he's not like he's mad though. He's not mad. It's just that sometimes it's as if something, the thing used to just come. But he does not, like when it starts like that, she will just go out. She can come to the other house. She can go to another person's house. Nothing will happen to her. Or she will just stay away from him. It's just for them to have children. We will take care of everything for you people. This your house, we'll roof it. We'll change the roof. And every other thing you people did, we'll take care of it. Would you say, okay, Messiah has come. Thank God we have a sister who can serve as exchange for the things we need in our lives or in this family. Or maybe that's not even what they're presenting, but they're presenting that maybe this sister of yours is not that young anymore. Or maybe, because sometimes as well, what you find out is that they also sometimes go for girls who already have maybe a child or more outside wedlock. It's more like, okay, let's help you and clean up the shame in your family. So how about he marry our son, who is like a grandfather to her, or might not be as a grandfather to her, but you know, they want him to have an offspring. So no matter whatever it is they present, how would you take it? How would you feel? If that was your sister or your daughter, would you allow for that? Under which circumstance would you agree to this? Perhaps they would say, oh, the moment she has 1 or 2 kids, she will not have to stay in Nigeria again. We'll do papers for her and the kids, and they would travel abroad, and they would relocate to the UK, and that's where they will stay, and they will come and visit you. In fact, you can even go there for Omugwa, will sponsor it, and all of that stuff. Perhaps that's even a better catch. Yeah, because some people, by the time they hear abroad, their entire system will start spinning. So a man that cannot care for himself, should marriage be an option? Who do I have here? Sonny says, Constance, good afternoon. I would like to get your own take or response. If the reverse was the case, be unbiased. It depends on the situation and age. Emotional, social, and physical needs are all inclusive. I don't know if you're asking me a question or you're answering my question, but because I'm seeing quotation marks there. Ernest from Woji says, LOL, that's laughing out loud. That is a solution in Africa most times. They will use the scripture of David to justify it. In saner climes, they will be taken to care centers where most of our people work when they migrate there. Here you will hear things like, Papa don't old and him need person to they stay with him. Make we find wife for him. And then they would say it's what's it called now? They want to use the David story in the Bible that they've not read. They've never read. They just heard the story somewhere. They've never sat down to read it word for word and actually be sure what was written there. And they would say, yes, We are Christians. Follow the Bible. It's a Jewish book as well, so we all acknowledge David as something. So yeah, he's a good example. So someone here is mentioning the case of Emmanuel Macron, that's the president of France, and says, what do you say about Emmanuel Macron's wife, who is his former school teacher, old enough to mother, Jesus Christ, this kind of English, mother him, that's to be his mother. What do you say about that? Was it poverty or jazz? Your name is PSD. I nearly thought I saw PTSD, like post-traumatic stress disorder. But that particular case is way, way off what we're discussing. I talked about, I'll tell you a key word in my conversation. The key word there is finding a wife for a sick or aging person. The key word there is finding for. They did not find Mr. Macron for his wife. All right? So when a conversation is going on, ensure that you're very attentive so that you don't miss what the focus is, right? And start veering off course, because that's what your message sounds like. We're not talking about people who decide that I want to marry this person because I love this person. In their own case, he loves her. So that example was a very bad example. All right? Thank you. Okay, can I do this call right now? Nah, I'm not going to risk it. I've got a commercial break coming up. Before that commercial break, I just want to remind you, don't let my voice deceive you. I'll give out 25,000 naira on this show today, like before 2 p.m. Okay? Get on oneplay.ng and buy your tickets. Select Nigeria Infonet 2.3 PH. 500 naira, that's what that ticket costs, all right? So that you can qualify for the 25,000 naira that we're giving out today on this show. And there's another 25k that's coming up after the business show that's talking figures. So don't miss out. I've got 50k to give out. 2 persons are going to share it. It might be you. All right? Oneplay.ng. I'll be back.